Hi everyone. I hope you guys are well and fine, safe and healthy while watching this video. Initially, upon thinking of this test, I was like, oh, I was so excited because I brought a lot of items, personal belongings of mine from the Philippines when I first visited back the country after moving here for good. Um, so these four items are the things that every time I look at them, um, it reminds me of my identity, my learning experience, my where my principles are coming from every time I talk to people or interact with people. So basically, um, these are the things that um, um, made me or built me as a strong person, as a unique person. So to start, I am going to share my birth certificate from the Philippines. Um, this piece of paper gives information of my complete name, my gender, my date of birth. My birthday is coming up. It's September 28th, and the exact place I was born and where I came from, particularly in the Philippines, particularly from the Philippines, I mean. Um, my parents' name, Thelma Balasaba Salisi, Petrenia Maluya Iway. By the way, I have six siblings. I have three sisters and three brothers. I'm the fifth one um, among my siblings. Yeah. It also gives my nationality, of course, Filipino, and my religion, Catholic. Um, it has the name of our mayor, signature of our mayor, um, the nurse name. Yeah. So every time I look at this paper, it always reminds me of how thankful I am to God for the gift of life, basically, and the gift of parents I have and the siblings I have because of them. And so that's for my first artifact. Second um, is my necklace. I always wear this. My necklace with a cross pendant symbolizes my soul. I am a woman of faith. I believe that I everything I do it for the Lord. And actually, my grandma has a lot to do with with the influence of my religion. Um, Growing up, I would spend my summer vacation um, to my grandma's place, and there I got to um, exposed to a country lifestyle, very simple lifestyle, and also the culture of religion. You know, the going to church every Sunday, um, being prayerful, learning. I also get to learn the rosary um, and the stories, how faith would help you. It's always like that with my grandma. Whenever she talks about faith, there's always a story behind or back up to her opinion. I would say that my faith has a big part in my life. I feel like it has been my driving force to be kind and be of service to others. And so even my life is quite a journey, and I witness um, I witness how and I witnessed how faith was so cruel at times, personally and family wise. But because of my faith in God, I always had that safe feeling to, of course, growing up to pray. And um, when I was matured, is to just really learn the process and learn that God is under control. So that's me. That's my spiritual um, standing, beliefs, and my identity when it comes to religion. My third item is this photo. Me in front of the tallest building in the world. I don't know if it still is, now. It's the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. A lot of memories, a lot of good and not so good memories. I believe my journey in the country molded me differently. Um, and every time I look at this photo, one of the memories that bring me back, or that bring back to me, are the romantic, the romantic and challenging times in my life. I went to work abroad. I want to go there to work, and with the objective to help my mom sending my siblings to college. It's a very typical for Filipino household to help to for the younger or for the elder siblings to help their younger siblings. When I went to college, I was also helped by my elder siblings. So to give back, and I think it's just as it was rooted to us to help, having that sense of gratitude. Yeah, it wasn't forced, or it wasn't obliged obligation that I have to, but it was out of kindness, and also to save money for my ultimate dream to have my own learning center. However, this was also the time that I had to go through, I think, the most worst trial in my life, and also as also for my family. Um, my brother got diagnosed in those times with brain tumor, and every time I go back to remember those storms in our life, it always makes my heart proud, thinking that I can set myself aside for my family, because I had also some kind of personal struggles too, that my family never even, except for my elder sister, um, I had to set aside those emotions because I was I think I was just focused to help my mom financially with the hospitalization and finances. So yeah, thinking my age, and thinking how I had to set aside my emotion, my personal struggle, just to kind of help the family. Um, Remembering those made me always it makes me always proud of myself, because I think not all are very brave to handle that, and to, you know be selfless, I guess. And it's hard. When I say it's hard because in the Philippines, when you have those major health problems or a member in the family, it's not something here that everyone has insurance, and it's not something that government gives you insurance, or I think they have now, but back then we don't have for people in need of medical assistance. So literally, when I had nothing left from my savings, literally my mom and I would go to different group of politicians to, I would say beg, and I'm proud to say that for financial aid, for just to support, not even for us to live our day-to-day lives, but to just supplement our hospital bill. Yeah. And it always humbles me, and it always keeps me grounded every time I think of those days, every time I think of those storms. It was very long. It was, I would say, typhoon that we went through as a family. I'm sharing this because I believe those struggles shaped me into being a selfless person and made me even more substantial and wiser. Yep. I'm glad I wasn't very emotional, because it always makes me emotional every time I share this part of my life and how it helped me become a person with big heart. Right, just like what I mentioned, my life in UAE, in United Arab Emirates, it was not just all bad memories. I know I shared more. I shared that major part, but I had also good memories. And as a teacher there, it was an eye opener. I mean, and personally, something that will always be important in my heart. The memories I had with the students, with staff, with the people around. That country is a melting pot, so it was also first time for me, different types of people from different backgrounds. So yeah, regardless of, I still have those memories, that good memories that are kept and treasured in my heart. Yeah, I never thought that my profession would bring me to places in UAE and here. I remember one of the most important, not no, one of the most play that I like playing when I was a child is pretend play as a teacher, and I would have my neighbors pretend play as my students. I never knew it would become a reality. And never even in my wildest dream that I would be teaching, in foreign lands to foreign students. So for my last artifact is that this one, my scrapbook. It's a personal memoir of mine. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Friendster. I had it to where it's in a Friendster format, but paper type. So for front cover, I have this, my personal information, and it's saying "See the real me." I made this 14 years ago, and you can really see how old it is. So I'd like to choose some of the pages, and it's all written in English, so you will understand if I'll show you. And by every time I look at it, I always feel, I always feel that strange feeling is an emotion that always bring back to me, that always remind me of those memories. So here, for example, I have this picture, and it says the picture was taken during my graduation when I was in my elementary. I received lots of award, was able to gain, that I was able to gain, should be received. Well, I was what, third year, fourth year high school. And it felt me great to be proud of my family. It felt great to be proud of my yeah, I love writing ever since. And literacy wise, I learned to read and write when I was, prior to first grade. I was already writing, and especially that we have store, I always write numbers, and I always have those writing exposure. In first grade, I learned to read basic sight words, and it progresses to reading a lot, words, difficult words and sentences and stories. Yeah, in the Philippines, I grew up learning both languages, in Filipino and English at our school, and at home we speak our dialect. And coming from my family, especially a busy family, my mom run up to now, she runs the store, and she never really had the time to sit down like how I am now, to my children. And I don't question my mom. Imagine we are seven of us, and um but most of my academic language, in both in Filipino, our national, and English as our secondary language, I really acquired from the school. I'm a person ever since in elementary that is a very goal driven. And up to now, I have that I always have that set of time, and um, I always have that set of time that I have to finish this, I have to achieve this or that. And it's just different as I as I grow up and get matured, because now I'm learning to accept things that are not my control. And I learned that power of acceptance, that it is what it is, but still do my best. um, like studying masters now, with full-time job, and with um, two children, and as a mom, as a wife, it's a lot. um, but I get to learn that, um, that skill, the power of acceptance, that I can just control, and the things that I want to achieve or achieve for that day. But um, but I was like that. I was very like that growing up, and I always put that one in writing. When I was in elementary, I remember I have a journal full of poems. Um, I have a diary. I have, what else do I have? And yeah, just like this, I have a lot of scrapbook. Every school year, I collect memoirs from my friends. I am that kind of person. And that's why when I read the book assigned to me, that is Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, it really reminds me of myself growing up and how I developed my literacy skills, my writing skill, my reading, my speaking. Yep. So that's all for now. I know I have a lot to share, but I'd like to connect with you guys. I know we are all busy and we have our different priorities, and I don't know. I just feel like even we are different individuals, different with different perspective when it comes to um, learning. Learning in our class, or we have different priorities. I feel like it's very important for us to have this, to connect, to go more personal, to learn from each other. I know I will be learning a lot from you guys, and I'm so excited to see your videos. And expect that will have question, because I love to learn from others. And if you have question for me, please free. I am very open-minded, and I would really give time to respond to your question. Um, yeah, and hopefully one day my creation, just like would just like Jacqueline Woodson, would be in print, you know, to inspire the next generation. Um, I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, one of my dreams now. And thank you for watching. Hope to see you guys. Bye.